Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Hickory Motor Speedway. Built back in the 1970s in one of the world's most famous short tracks, right here, the birthplace of all the NASCAR stars. Well, right now we have the Western Super Series invading here. We will see who will add their names to the Hickory Motorsports record books. But hey, we welcome you out here tonight, and we are proud to do so. My name is Upstate Al, bringing you all of tonight's racing action right here on the Turn 3 Network. Thank you for tuning on in for what is going to be an exciting night of racing here for round number 2. Thomas Axsom will lead the field in here to the Hickory Motor Speedway, and it will be a great night of racing as the field starting to get in. We're going to have a last chance qualifier. We got qualifying coming on up here as we take a look at tonight's program presented by Elevate Racing Media here for the Western Super Series. The track just a tick over a third of a mile, and it is going to be great racing. Beautiful temperature track. We're currently at 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It is partly cloudy with 46% humidity. And we have all of the racing stars here tonight. Let's take a look at your current point standings as they come into tonight's racing action. It is Alex McCullum on top with his big win last time we saw those drivers 2 weeks ago at the Nashville Fairground Speedway. Let's take a look here and see here. We got the also look at Dustin Mombercat in second spot, Brian Cole, Brett Suggs, Walker Cole, Joseph McWhorter, Levi Allen, Ken James, Ryan Castle, and Jordan Berry rounding out your top 10 here this evening as the field looks to go here as qualifying gets underway. Single car qualifying. Each driver will go out onto the racetrack for their time, and one driver already out onto the racetrack is this one. Car number 42 up onto the racetrack. This is Austin Miller. Austin Miller in car number 42 in the Miller time entry. Working down here in the turns 3 and 4 to put lap number 1 up onto the books. Here during qualifying, we'll see where everybody slides in. Austin Miller currently atop of the board right there as you look at their best times. Walker Cole is in second spot. Here comes a few of these drivers out on the racetrack, and it is hot and heavy as we look at Ellie Musgraves, number 23. Musgrave going to go 10th quick on lap number 1, trying to lock themselves in to the top 16 here tonight. Will lock themselves into tonight's main event without having to run the dreaded LCQ. Musgrave going to go quicker, up to 6 quick for the 23. The young lady racer out of Washington out there in car number 23. Alex McCullum, your current points leader out on the racetrack. He's going to slot in the 12th in lap number 1. Working down the backstretch in the turns 3 and 4. They'll come up off the corner, and McCullum's going to go top of the board with a 14-3-1-1-4. 3-1 for Alex McCullum, and those are the first 13 drivers out onto the racetrack. Here comes Corey Doran. Doran in car number 28. Trying to get out there as well in the Scott Buck entry. I believe that's what it said. Scott Block, number 28. Trying to work around here up off of turn 4. He's running the extreme high side of the racetrack, and Dorian going to be 14th quick. Colin Penn rolls out onto the racetrack with the Victoria's Secret car number 152. We'll see what kind of lap Penn will do as he gets the white-green flags. We're on board with the custom paints and die cast on board camera. Oh, so I'm a little bit tight up off of turn number 2, and that's me Calamity Corner here this afternoon. Lap number in the 1 into the books for Penn, and Penn going to get no time for that touch down the backstretch, and you see the damage on the right front. So Penn gonna try to be inside there. He'll go 14th quick, and that's gonna put Corey Dorian 15th. Brett Suggs rolling out onto the racetrack here in car number 33, the Lake Norman Power Cleaning car number 33. This is Brett Suggs trying to get some heat into those tires. Want to thank y'all for tuning on in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and make sure you let these drivers know that you appreciate what they are doing for you out there this afternoon. Get up and going. Here they come down. In there, Alex McCullum trying to try to keep his momentum going. Remember, he picked up the pole in qualifying 2 weeks ago at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and went on to pick up the win tonight at Hickory. Alex McCullum sits atop of the scoring pylon as Corey Dorian going to go on to the hot seat. Dorian going to roll on through, and he was going to go. Brett Suggs will go to 4th quick. So Corey Dorian still on that hot seat as Brett Suggs goes to 4th quick with a 14.34. And that leaves one driver left to qualify here to see if we get him out onto the racetrack or not. Let's attempt our pole sitter. Currently being held by Alex McCullum's car number 10 or 51 on the scoring pylon. Well, that is going to do it, and that's going to slide us into our last chance qualifier rolling out onto the racetrack, and this will be a 15-lap affair. And with 2 cars being here, that'll see what race control will do with this one. They might not do anything as well. Well, they do that. We're going to take and step aside. We'll find out what happens here for our last chance qualifier. You're watching the Western Super Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and it is being brought to you by Custom Paints and Diecast here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Admin Box, you need a little bit of help with your adminning. Admin Box can help you. And Elevate Racing Media, all proud sponsors of the 2024 Western Super Series. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network right after a quick word from one of our sponsors.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there. Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, where we are in a holding pattern. You see how it clouded up here, a little bit of a rain shower rolling on by as we get ready to go with tonight's main event, and it is going to be a good one. Let's take a look at how the field qualified here this afternoon, and it was Alex McCullum out on top of it, just nudging past Austin Miller in car number 42. Walker Cole will qualify in third. Brett Suggs was fourth. Fifth spot going to Matt Eddy in car number 88. Brian Cole was sixth. Carter Brown seventh. Eighth spot will go to Mark Whitley. Ellie Musgrave inside the top 10, as this one will wind up here as we get ready to go with tonight's feature event. 125 laps is all it's going to take. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting up on the pole in car number 10 out of New Jersey, this is Alex McCullum. In car number 10, outside of him, out of Indiana, driving car number 42, this is Austin Miller. Austin Miller out of Indiana will roll off in spot number 2. Spot number 3 and inside of row number 2 will be car number 10. This is Walker Cole, and outside of him in the BSRM factory team, car number 33. This is Brett Suggs. Matt Eddy will roll off 5th, and outside of him in his dancing partner out of Carolina will be car number 15. This is Brian Cole. Carter Brown, the driver out of Florida, will roll off 7th in car number 115. And outside of him for the Driven Motorsports, car number 77, this is Mark Whitley. Inside of row number 5, the driver out of Washington, the young lady racer, this is Ellie Musgrave. And outside of her, in car number 97, it is Levi Allen. Stephen Pierce and Troy Daggett will make up row number 6. Starting in your 13th spot will be Jonathan Smith in car number 72. And outside of him, car number 76, this is Eric Cheney. In your 8th and final row, we'll see Colin Penn and Corey Dorian. Starting out your field, it looks like Dustin Momberquette not able to make the call on the racetrack, as the field pace is behind the pace car. We will see if we will get a brand new winner, or if Alex McCullum will roll on into victory lane for the second straight week. He picked up the win back in Nashville. The season opener came in as your points leader. They are into the restart zone, and we are ready to kick the fires and light the tires. We are underway. Down here in the turn number 1, the field working 2 by 2 up off the corner. McCollum going to jump out to the race lead. Miller working the outside of the racetrack, the number 10 of Walker Cole. And just like that, lap number 1 into the books. Lap number 1 of the books, still 2 by 2 as they work down the back stretch here. In the turns 3 and 4, and Miller applying the pressure. Good battle back there between Cole and Cole. Walker and Brian there, door to door in the turns 1 and 2. That outside lane gonna prevail. Hang on to it. The furniture mark, car number 10 got a little bit sideways Hangs on to it early in this one here. He's still stuck down in that inside lane. The outside seeming to be the place to be early on in this run. As I say that, Brian Cole's going to take a look to the inside of Miller and move Austin Miller back to the 3rd spot. Brian Cole up to the number 2 spot. Brian Cole started back in spot number 6 and has quickly brought himself up here to the number 2 spot. As he works there behind Alex McCollum. A little bit deeper in the back here, you got the 72 of Jonathan Smith. As you see the battle behind them, that is Colin Penn and Troy Daggett. Daggett working it outside with that number 9 sponsored automobile. Everybody's still working around here in first 6 laps into the books, working lap number 7. Is Ellie Musgrave starting to close in on the backside of the Nationwide Auto Parts entry. This is Matt Eddy. Eddie trying to find a way to go with that Pontiac down at the inside. He's got the 97 of Allen in front of him with the 11 of Carter Brown working it outside of the racetrack. And that Autotac number 11 trying to work the outside. Meanwhile, your race leader able to hold on to it is Dustin Mambacat coming out onto the racetrack. Some 10 laps down here, so he'll work out onto the racetrack and pray for some yellow flags, but so far all clean and green as we look from high above the sky. Down on this field, a little bit deeper in the field, the 69 of Stephen Pearson, the Bojangles entry. He is starting to get greased up by the 72 of Smith. Smith knocking on the doorstep of a top 10 run early on in this one. As everybody minding their P's and Q's early on, getting their cars to feel out. Smith down low, slight contact, no harm, no foul. Everybody doing what they need to do right now, feeling out these race cars, sizing up their competition to find out if they are going to be able to get by. And now, as I say that, here comes the 72 of Jonathan Smith. He'll work underneath the 69 of Pierce and take that 10th spot away momentarily. Pierce up the racetrack, able to get there. He'll get by. That opens the inside lane for Colin Penn. We'll go on board with the Elevate Media onboard camera with Colin Penn. Penn trying to work underneath the 69 of Pierce. We'll look out the back there and see the Cheetos entry. If that don't make you feel a little cheesy on the outside there. Wow. Bojangles and some Cheetos in line. That sounds like a late night snack to me. Up front though, Alex McCollum still holding off Brian Cole as you see him flash by in the air. McCollum still holding on to it, and is Cole not able to get a run on him just yet, or maybe doesn't want to show his hands as we are closing in on the 1/5 mark of tonight's contest. This one will be a quick one here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning on in on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Had to tune in. Sold out show here this evening is now the Whitley in that 77 trying to work to the outside quarter panel of that 42 of Miller. Miller now trying to apply some pressure to Brian Cole. As those two start to battle it out, you see a little bit of daylight starting to show in front with Alex McCollum. We'll go on board, looking out the back with the admin box onboard camera with your race leader of Alex McCollum. McCollum working back at that Hollywood entry of Brian Cole. Miller works the out inside. Here comes the 77 of Whitley to the outside. Can't do anything with him that time in the turns 3 and 4. Everybody minding their P's and Q. The fastest lap of this race belongs to Dustin Momberquette, and he is some 8 laps in the arrears. And hoping for a few yellow flags here to maybe get back into the heart of things. Momberquette came set into tonight's race, second in the standings in car number 16. sharp looking automobile working there. Hoping for something to happen around Levi Allen, though. Starting to put some pressure. It'll hold on to it right there. Ellie Musgrave gotten around the 88 of Matt Eddy. Eddy in that 88 trying to make some ground up. Maybe saving his tires here. This will be a tire game, especially if this one goes green to checkered like we saw at Nashville Fairgrounds. These drivers capable of green to checkered runs. We could see that here this evening as you see that Harpoon number 77. Working here. That is the 77 of Whitley. Whitley in that 77 working there in spot number 4. And your top 4 cars all nose to tail, ready to make a move when someone possibly makes a mistake. And you can see the 77 of Whitley arcing that corner in. Now Miller right to the back bumper of McCullum. Will fuel become an issue here this afternoon? We're at the final 125 laps here. A lot of time you're off of the throttle, but also very hard back into the throttle as Whitley got a little bit sideways. Here comes Miller, a little bit of bumper tag to the 15 of Cole. Cole really applying the pressure to Alex McCullum. McCullum might be just biding some time right now, saving those Hoosier Racing tires. He set fast time here this evening. He started on the pole and has led every lap so far. Jonathan Smith going to work by Pierce, but Pierce going to try to cross him up on the backstretch. He will do so. The Bojangles bucket down to the inside, trying to make it back into the top 10. Can't quite do it just yet. Behind him is the Stephen Pierce, number 69. Eric Cheney in that Cheetos car, just ahead of the Victoria's Secret sponsored 152 of Colin Penn. Troy Daggett back here in the 9 car, right behind Corey Dorian in the South Block, number 28. Brent Suggs in the 33. And Dustin Monbriquette rounding out your field. The 17 cars, all under green flag, all underneath the green flag. You see Orr's name there? Well, that's our fearless leader up in the control tower. He is the head honcho of the Western Super Series. He had put it on some ice over the last couple years and is resurrected to what we are seeing here this evening in what is a great race so far here for the Western Super Series. You see McCullum out front starting to stretch it over of Brian Cole, back to about 3/10 of a second. Cole, and then you got Miller, Whitley, and Walker Cole rounding out your top 5. Walker Cole, though, is getting a full back bumper of that Autotech sponsored number 11. You see the 10 get up out of shape, holding it onto it there as he was able to do so up off the corner. Right now, these drivers starting to feel the transition of the fuel load starting to burn off. You have the tires that are getting hot and the track getting hot and greasy right now. Everyone is getting there is now Jonathan Smith working the outside of Pierce. He'll hold on to that number 10 spot, but here comes Pierce. Pierce to the inside, and he is going to try to work up the racetrack, but not quite yet. Great battle. You see the flash bulb photography happening. Oh, contact, and around will go to 69. He is down on the inside of the track. No yellow flag as of yet. As the race leaders will flash on by. Now the yellow flag will fly. And for the first time in 2024, the yellow flag comes out. As it was for the 69 of Stephen Pierce, who went around after contact with the 72 of Smith. We'll watch this one from high above with our blimp cam. Let's take a look here and see. Smith got to run down the backstretch into the corner, and they just met going for the same spot of real estate, and around he went into oncoming traffic, and the 69 of Pierce will take the tow here to the pits. Come back to live pictures. Got some takers down on pit road. The 77 of Whitley coming down. Is Alex McCullum, your race leader, paces the field. For the first time in 2024, the yellow flag flies, and that was after a beautiful start to this race, almost the third of the way into this one. Free pass gonna go to Dustin Mombercat. He'll be 6 laps to the arrears. Field doubling up behind the pace car. It looks like Pierce has taken the 69 behind the pit wall. We're going to go back. Green flag racing pen out onto the racetrack as well. Green flag back up. McCullum able to jump on the loud pedal first. Brian Cole trying to work the outside momentum. He will do so down here into turns 1 and 2. Austin Miller back to third. Cole now there, and here's a great battle behind him with Levi Allen working the outside with that 97. Allen working there with the RKM Setup Shops entry, working the outside of the 11 of Brown. Brown there in the inside with the orange, white, and purple automobile. Ellie Musgrave is right there. Hang on to a Brownie. Carter Brown had a handful of wheel up off the corner. They're going to try to go 3 wide. Ellie thinks better of it. Is now Matt Eddy rolling up on the outside of the speedway. Down in the corner, 3 wide. Hang on to her, Ellie. Ellie's going to go sideways, kisses the inside retaining wall. Trying to get it back in the gear here as the race leader comes off turn number 2, and the yellow flag will fly here once again for the 23 of Ellie Musgrave, who scrapes the inside of turns 3 and 4. Let's take a look here at this one. They were trying a little bit. You already see it in action. We'll see it. We'll roll it back here a little bit further. We can see this replay. They come up off the turn number 40 down the front stretch. You see Musgrave with a lot better drive off than the 11 of Brown in front of her. Got a look to the inside right here, and then the hole kind of closed up into slight contact, sends the 23 around. And that'll bring out our yellow flag here as Brent Suggs and Carter Brown are down on pit road utilizing their fresh Hoosier Racing tires as Alex McCullum stays out in the field. And, well, Dustin Mombercat really enjoying this as he's going to get the free pass. Simone Bucket going to get back on the lead lap here. Ellie Musgrave down on pit road. She's going to come out, looks like to be one lap down. So Musgrave will tag onto the back of the field here. As Alex McCullum leads this one. Field pacing up behind there. We'll go one more lap around here as the field catches up to the field. Looks like Colin Penn has taken the 152 behind the wall as well. As Dustin Mombercat going to get back on the lead lap. Looks like the 23 of Ellie Musgrave as well. And they will tag on to the back of the field. 65 laps to go when the green flag drops here. Into the restart zone we are, back underway. McCollum going to jump out to the early race lead. Here comes Brian Cole to the outside. Using that outside lane. He's going to hold on to the second spot. Walker Cole trying to get there. Matt Eddy starting to make some noise in that Nationwide Auto Parts entries. He works the outside of Levi Allen. Allen down low, digging deep, trying to get a run on Austin Miller. Contact behind him is Jonathan Smith and the 69. Or not 69, excuse me. Eric Cheney in that 76 made some contact. A little bit of bumping and banging back here as these drivers all jostling for position. You got some with some fresher tires on their race cars, like the 33 of Brent Suggs. Suggs came in, got some fresh rubber, and is trying to make quick work of traffic without hurting those Hoosier racing tires. And Suggs already up into the 10th position. After the restart, he'll work to the inside of Cheney. Cheney up the racetrack, but he's going to be able to hold him off. As now we work here in the turns 3 and 4 and up off the corner. Meanwhile, up front, Brian Cole still chasing your race leader, Alex McCollum. One car going around, hang on to it. It's the 28 of Dorian in the South Block 28. Spins on the backstretch, keeps it going. We stay green so far. Just past the halfway point of tonight's 125 lap contest. Brian Cole leads it up on the front of this one. Second spot is Brian Cole. Alex McCollum leads it. Austin Miller in third. Walker Cole is the fourth spot. Fifth spot, Levi Allen. Right there behind him is the 88 of Matt Eddy. Eddy starting to roll forward with that 88 car. Jonathan Smith in the 72 running there in spot number 7 currently. McCollum still leads as we watch this 3-wide battle. Are they going to attempt it? You've got Suggs right there in the 33 trying to work there as they work around Whitley and Jonathan Smith in the 72. All trying to vie for the same position, which they're trying to take away that 7th spot from Whitley. Down to the inside. Here comes the 33 of Suggs. This is great action here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. As you see, Suggs came down here on lap number 55 and took those extra set of tires in there. He might be in a catbird seat if this thing goes green to the end. Alex McCullum showing the way here in the turns 3 and 4. Yeah, I tell you, Brian Cole able to keep up pace with him, keeping him honest, trying to make something happen, trying to force the 10 into a mistake. But McCullum, one of the best short track racers on the sim right now, finds himself out on the front of this one, trying to go 2 for 2 to start the season. Brown now working his way up. He's got Ellie Musgrave. Musgrave trying to get back inside the top 10. Musgrave to the inside of Smith. That'll relegate him back to 11th. McCullum showing the way in spot number 1. – 46 laps to go, and your top 3 have broken away from the rest of the field. On the backside of your race leader of McCullum, looking back at Cole. Cole kisses the outside concrete. Doesn't seem to slow down at all. It's a great battle back here is between the 88 of Matt Eddy as he's trying to figure out a way to get around the 97 of Allen. And meanwhile, Suggs and Whitley have filled the mirror. Brett Suggs taking a look to the inside as Eric Cheney has pulled the Cheetos sponsored entry down on the pit road. Matt Eddy up the racetrack. Suggs will get on by. Whitley now looking to look underneath the 88 of Matt Eddy. Can't make it happen that time. These drivers are really putting it out there, and they know that time starting to run out here. Whitley going to get by Matt Eddy as well as now Brett Suggs into the top 5 for the first time this evening. Brett Suggs trying to work up the racetrack. He's got Walker Cole in front of him. So Brett Suggs in that number 33, the driver trying to make it happen, calls Mooresville, North Carolina home. Brett Suggs, catch him on the Cars Tour. There's McCullum right there starting to get into some lap traffic. He's got the 76 of Cheney right there in front of him. Cheney going to do the gentleman thing and hang out on the apron. He'll pull it back pit side. There's now Walker, Cole, and Brett Suggs start to duke it out. Suggs to the inside with a great run down the backstretch. The Furniture Mart number 10 up the racetrack. Suggs now to 4th. Can he chase down your race leader? Some 2.5 seconds back now. As Suggs up into that 4th spot. Austin Miller is 3rd. Brian Cole is 2nd. And race leader from the top of the green has led the first 89 laps. That is Alex McCullum. McCullum doing a masterful job here tonight. Picking up right where he left off at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So we got Brian Cole working here. Alex McCullum in the race lead. Musgrave now putting a little bit of pressure as we look at that battle under Matt Eddy as well. So these 4 cars starting, hang on to it. The 28 going to get in the backside of Ellie. Hits the inside retaining wall. That's going to cost Ellie the 9th position. And we stay in green condition. And the 26 was able to keep on going. Matt Eddy here as well. He's got to the 11 of Brown now underneath them, able to get by there. Brett Suggs starting to close in, but not so far. As Carter Brown will work underneath the 88 of Matt Eddy. Good racing so far this evening as we close in on 30 laps to go. As Brett Suggs, you can see it on your screen right there, starting to close in on your third place running of Whitley. Doing a good job there trying to catch up to him as we've got 97 into the books. Brian Cole is starting to lose touch with your race leader of Alex McCollum. McCollum out on the front here. Let's go on board with him. Here, how he's easy on the gas, how he's letting it roll on through. Battle for third starting to shape up. As Suggs looks to put some pressure on the 42 with 25 laps to go. Suggs able to get a good run up off of turn number 2. Takes a peek to the inside in turn number 3. Brett Suggs down to the inside. Can he make it stick? Not this time. Miller with a nice drive up off the corner, but this time off the corner, Brett Suggs trying to tap into the top 3. Catches the apron, gets a little bit loose, that time off the corner. Great battle, slight contact in the turns 1 and 2. Up the racetrack, Miller will go, more contact down the back stretch. And into the corner, lap traffic down on the inside lane for Suggs. Will that help out Miller? Suggs trying to clear him. He will do so that time up off the corner. So Brett Suggs into the third spot. She's gotten around the 42 of Austin Miller. 2 seconds back from your race leader. Brian Cole holding on to that second position as more lap traffic in front of him. That will be the number 9 of Daggett. Daggett, the last car on the lead lap, and he will work to the outside of the racetrack. McCollum going to try to work around the Daggett Racing number 9. He will do so with no problem. So the Carhartt up the racetrack, and he will let the race leader on by. Here comes the 15 of Brian Cole. He will have to navigate lap traffic. Laps are starting to run down here with 18 to go at the line. Whitley, though, starting to close in on Miller. He gets a good run up off the corner. Here comes the 77 of Whitley in that Harpoon Motorsports entry. Down underneath the 42 of Miller. He will do so. Alex McCollum still out front. 16 to go. So you watch the battle between Brown and Cole. Matt Eddy now and the 23 of Ellie Musgrave. Trying to make something happen. Musgrave trying to get back up through the race, up into the 9th spot. As Whitley and Miller are side by side for the number 4 position. Austin Miller started on the outside of the front row and has fallen back to 4th, trying not to make it a 5th spot. As Brett Suggs works into lap traffic. Suggs down low underneath the 76 of Cheney. Cheney up the racetrack trying to give some space to him. Cheney gets a run on Brian Cole. Up the racetrack he goes. So Brian Cole to the inside. The 76 of Cheney, a lap car. And that allows Brett Suggs with the momentum on the outside. Can he make something happen? Suggs trying to roll through turns 1 and 2 on the outside. Brian Cole gets turned sideways off the lap car into the infield. We stay green momentarily. Yellow, yellow, yellow comes out, and that is not what McCollum wanted to see. As his 2-second lead comes to an end. As Brian Cole running second. Goes around. See it just get up off the corner, tight race quarters, and the slid and barely touched the inside retaining wall. Forcing the yellow flag to come out for the third time this evening as the field paces behind the pace car with 9 laps to go. Brian Cole going to come down the pit road. Try to make something happen with his 3act.com entry. The Pollywood number 15 down on pit road to the attention of his pit crews. The field rolls to turns 1 and 2. Seven laps to go as the field starts to get lined up behind the pace car. Brett Suggs has 55 lap fresher tires than your race leader of Alex McCollum. Dustin Mombercat back on the lead lap, and this is going to help his championship battle here if he can pass some of these cars. But a lot of takers came down pit road. We've got Brian Cole back here. He came down pit road. Matt Eddy and Dustin Mombercat all coming down here. But with 5 laps to go with the drop of the green flag, who is it going to be? Heavyweight battle up on the front. Brett Suggs versus Alex McCollum into turns 3 and 4 and into the restart zone. McCollum gets on the gas pedal, a little bit of spin there from the 33 of Suggs. Suggs works the outside of the racetrack, can't quite get to the right rear quarter panel. McCollum tries to block him. Suggs drives it in deep on the outside. Here comes Whitley around Miller. 4 to go. Brett Suggs trying to become the second different winner in the amount of races we've had here in the resurrection of the Western Super Series, and Brett Suggs applying the pressure. 3 to go. Will the old chrome horn come out to play tonight as Whitley now into the 3rd spot? Did Suggs use up the good in those tires during that long run? The 15 of Cole already into the up to the 8th spot. White flag will come out next time by. White flag is up as we watch the battle for second behind your race leader. Alex McCollum did nothing wrong all night long. He's going to go back to back to start the 2024 campaign. Alex McCollum will win at Hickory. Suggs will come home second. Whitley 3rd. Miller 4th, and Brown will round out your top 5 as Brett Suggs comes home in second. A valiant effort, but Alex McCollum proving he is the man to beat. He'll park it down here in victory lane. Suggs in second, Whitley 3rd. We will take and try to catch up with all of these drivers here on the front stretch here as we walk into our post-race show. Let's take a look down, and we'll walk down these stairs here, and we'll walk in and get in with Brett Suggs. And Brett Suggs going to come up 1 spot shy here tonight, Brett. But, man, did you make it awful exciting for us up here in the booth, working through traffic and the long green flag runs that you had here. Did you need the race to stay green, do you think, to have a shot at McCollum?
Yeah, I think maybe staying green, we would have had a chance. It was just so difficult. My VR headset blacked out before the race started, like right when we were gridding, so missed the grid and had to kind of recover from there. But still happy to put a good run up through the field. Just wish we had a little bit more to try to get Alex there.
What else did you need out of that race car at the end there after that restart to get a shot at Alex?
It was really just a little bit more turn. I know we were all kind of facing the same thing. I ended up taking right sides probably around lap 45 or so, but as you saw there, as the race played out, I used them pretty hard to try to get up through the field and restore some of that track position. So by the time I got to Alex, just didn't really have anything left. Tried to peek the outside a few times there on the restart, but he did all the right things and protected it pretty well. So didn't really have any other chance to try to poke a nose around there.
And you also had Whitley there behind you in that number 3 spot on that restart. So he was giving you a little bit of a fit, but come home with a second spot after having those issues at the start of the race there. And it had to be a lot of fun, at least working up through the traffic.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. I mean, Hickory is the home track, IRL, and love racing here both in person and on the sim. So anytime you can move around the track and use multiple lanes and kind of work your way around the field is always a good time. So it was definitely a lot of fun. And, this league always produces some great racing, a lot of great drivers out there. So it was an aggressive race from my standpoint, just kind of frantically trying to get up through the field, but a lot of fun nonetheless.
Well, who makes it all possible for you, Brent, to come home in this number 2 spot?
Yeah, definitely want to thank all the guys at Jam. We're getting ready for the SARS Super Series season. So although I'm not going to make all the races with my work travel schedule, I really appreciate those guys and everything that they do. Everybody in this race putting on a really good show, and you with the broadcast, Richard with Western Super Series. I'm really thankful for what you guys do, and our IRL partners as well with TH Motorsports, North Creek Construction, LMI, Lake Norman Power Cleaning, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing, McConey Setup Shop, Dustin, Alex, Landon, everybody that we hang out with, just have a lot of fun doing it.
Well, congratulations, Brett. Thanks for talking with us. We know you got to get into that room of doom here to make sure this car meets the standards, but congratulations on a second place run. We'll hope to see you in, I think it's 3 weeks when we're at the Five Flag Speedway on February 11th.
Yep, thank you.
There you go. Brett Suggs going to come home in that number 2 spot, and we'll slide down to the left here to Mr. Mark Whitley, who, Mark, you had a very exciting race there. We saw you in a lot of 2-3 wide battles, and you're going to come home with a nice third place finish here this afternoon at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Walk us through your race, and how was it from the driver's seat?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting from the driver's seat. Qualifying was very interesting. I didn't see the track picking up almost a 10th like it did. I put down my lap and I was like, that should be pretty good. And then I think we fell all the way back to like 8th or something like that. And it seemed like that outside line could really get rolling as long as you hit it right. If you get up there, you could really get a momentum. These cars are kind of down on power compared to the Super. So just try to get a run off the corners and just try to, not throw off too much speed. And I was, up to 4th at one point, and I felt like I was really faster than at least the guy in front of me. I just couldn't. He was pretty much running the perfect line where I couldn't really go high, because if I tried to go high around him, I went in too high, and then down low, it was just, it was really hard to pass on equal tires. So just took a shot, came in pitted on right before halfway. I was kind of surprised, really. I was expecting those tires to make way more of a difference than they really did. At certain times, it felt like it didn't make any difference at all, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I made a big mistake, because I was kind of expecting to, that it would make it a lot easier to get around guys, but it was still really difficult. But finally got up there. I let Brett go. It seemed like I thought he maybe took 4, and I was like, well, I'll just let him go and try to follow him through, and maybe he'll burn his stuff up. And we got that late caution, and I was able to get around 3rd place and bring home a podium. I thought I might have something for him there on the last lap. I had a good run coming off of 4 on the last lap, but it's just so difficult to pass. You really need a couple laps to set it up, and I didn't really want to go in there and just clean them out. So, just I was hoping for maybe a little mistake off 4, but 3rd place in first race here. So can't can't complain too much. It was a very interesting night.
Yeah, a very good night of racing. We, like I said, a lot of different lines there, and you're going to come home with that third place finish. Who makes it all possible on this 77 to be parking here on the podium on the front stretch?
I got to thank sponsors on the hood, Harpoon Design. If you need something painted on Trade and Paint, check them out at harpoondesign.com. My teammate John, he had a rough night. I know these cars aren't his favorite. He much prefers the supers, but he came out here, gave it a good run. Didn't get the finish he wanted, but a heck of a teammate. He's the ones that really got me into these kind of late model racing, so I appreciate him. All my family tuning in to broadcasted races, appreciate them. This league for having me on short notice. Just can't wait to come back out here and try it again, and maybe we can get in Victory Lane next time.
Well, it sounds like a good time, my friend. Thank you for coming on in and talking with us here on the podium, and we hope to see you at the Five Flag Speedway for the next one. There you go. That is third place finisher. That was Mark Whitley, and then that will bring us here into what will be our Victory Lane Circle for the second straight time here on the Western Super Series. Comes in, sets fast time on the night. Going to come home and pick up the win, leading all 125 laps here tonight. This is none other than Alex McCollum. And Alex, you came in, you set some fast times. You had some pressure early on from Brian Cole. Cole really onto the back bumper there. Were you just riding your time, or was something a little of a miss early on in this 10 car?
Yeah, I was riding a little bit early on, because I knew the setup was going to get really tight, so I kind of just tried to conserve the right front there, and, I kind of just rode my time for a little while, and then about, let's say, halfway, that's when I started picking things up. But, overall, it was a really good race. It just, got really tight, and, it was going to be whoever can conserve the right front better.
Were you worried on that final restart? You knew the drivers behind you had come down pit road. At least you knew Brett, or maybe you weren't aware. Brett and Mark had coming down pit road a little bit early on in this race. Were you a little bit worried that their fresher tires might have something for you?
Yeah, I didn't know they took tires early on, but thankfully they took them early on. That it didn't make a huge difference. We had those green flag laps, so I think if they took them a little bit later and we had those yellows, I think I would have been in trouble. But glad we were able to get those green flag laps, and that kind of helped me a lot.
Well, this race here went by in a flash here. 125 laps at Hickory is not an easy fit, though. This track, very unique in the different corners of the racetrack. How hard is it mentally as a driver to make sure you hit your marks and not abuse your equipment here at this racetrack?
Yeah, it's very line sensitive. I prefer to kind of run through the middle and then kind of cut it down to the bottom, hit the apex a little bit harder. But during the longer the race went, it got really tight, so I kind of had to switch my lineup and kind of short entry it on both turns. But then it got tighter and tighter, so I just kind of moved around a little bit. I tried the top there and wanted to in 3 and 4 for our lap. It wasn't too bad, but still wasn't as good as just running that little high arc.
Well, you're going to come home with the win, the second straight win here for the Western Super Series, kicking off your season off on the right foot here. Who makes it all possible on this race car to make that all possible to get you to and from these races?
Yeah, I gotta thank everybody at the shop. Those guys do a lot for me. You guys for broadcasting the Western Super Series going on. It's always a blast to come back and run the series. It's been a while, and glad he put it back on. Have a blast running with these guys.
Well, congratulations, Alex. We hope to see you at the Five Flag Speedway on February 11th. That'll be our next event for the Western Super Series. We hope to see this 10 car there.
Thank you.
There you go. That is your race winner here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. Listen to me. At the Hickory Motor Speedway, in what was a beautiful night of racing. We saw a lot of racing all the way around the racetrack. Let's take a look at the unofficial feature results after Hickory. Alex McCollum will pick up the win. Brett Suggs will come home in second. Mark Whitley third. Austin Miller is fourth. Carter Brown will come home fifth. Walker Cole sixth. Levi Allen seventh. Ellie Musgrave rebounds for an eighth. Brian Cole to ninth. Matt Eddy rounding out your top 10. 11th spot went to Dustin Momberquette. Troy Daggett will come home 12th. Jonathan Smith 13th. Eric Cheney, Corey Dorian, Colin Penn, and Stephen Pierce rounding out your 17 car field. We can't thank Richard Orr enough for all the men behind the scenes here at the Western Super Series. And don't forget that the Western Super Series is brought to you by Custom Paints and Diecast. In the market for a paint scheme or a custom diecast, let's check them out on Facebook at Custom Paints and Diecast. Admin Box and Elevate Racing Media. Elevate your racing with Elevate Racing Media. And that'll do it from Hickory Motor Speedway. The series will be back in action in about 3 weeks' time, February 11th at the Five Flag Speedway, one of my favorite racetracks. Will be round number 3 for the Western Super Series Resurgent Series here on the 2024 calendar. But until then, we hope you enjoy yourself. Make sure you stay safe, and we'll see you in turn 3. Good night, everybody.